Hello. Welcome to my Lifefood certified kitchen. Today we're going to be making pumpkin seed cheese. I call it Dino cheese. And we're gonna take this pumpkin seed cheese and wrap it in nori, and we're gonna make ravioli. Norioli. Call it norioli, okay? Okay. So, the first thing we have to do, because I have some non-organic tomatoes that I scored from my mom's house. I was gonna get some sauce, grandma's sauce, but the sauce that she had, she admitted to me that there was a salt in it. It wasn't Celtic. I only use Celtic, or since Celtic salt is MIA, I have this other type of sun-dried salt. Esprit du sel. Brut de Re. I can't even pronounce that. Authentic, unwashed, and untreated. The gray sea salt from Esprit du sel obtains its color from the nutrient-rich clay-lined salt marshes. Rich in natural minerals, this sea salt conserves all of nature's benefits. Use this salt either as whole crystals or in a salt grinder for all cooking and baking preparations, stock, soups, sauces, marinades, and roasts. It is perfect for the French croûte de sel, or salt-encrusted roasting recipes. Island of Ré, gray sea salt. For over 30 years, Esprit du Sel has been harvesting by hand the highest quality sea salts available from the Isle of Ré, situated off the Atlantic coast of France. From the salt marshes to your table, Esprit du Sel's sea salt remains 100% natural and authentic, bringing the true taste of nature to your kitchen. So what you'll notice, the difference between this type of salt, which is a sea salt. Hey Rick, greetings to you, my man. Nice to see you here. I'm going to be doing 3 streams in a row. The first one is this recipe. The second one I'm going to go on Fortnite. And the third one's going to be the news/Dr. Jubb interview. Alright, we're going to hit it hard this week. Take no prisoners. This salt, when you take it out of the jar, you'll notice that it's actually moist. Because it's been hand harvested and dried by the sun. It hasn't gone over 120 degrees, and therefore all the minerals are alive. It's got a protein colloidal chaperone, I believe. It's a living salt. Alright? But the tomatoes, as I was saying, is non-organic. So I'm putting baking soda on them. And then I'm going to add water. I got distilled water here. And while I'm preparing this cheese, I'm going to soak these in the baking soda water. And the theory is that this removes the pesticides. So that's off camera. And what you're not seeing is a plate that I'm using to push down the tomatoes into the water. I'm putting it in the sink so it doesn't leak all over my countertop. Okay. So the tomatoes are soaking in, you know what, let me mix it up a little bit. Just so I make sure that the baking soda is actually covering, the baking soda is actually dissolved in the water. Okay, and now I put the plate back on. Hope you can hear me. Sweet lineup. Sure gonna hit the 3K hours. Thank you, bro. You know that's been a mission of mine. Ever since I left UFC, I've been kind of broke ass and trying to figure out how to make it in this world while still retaining the integrity of my mission, which getting a job working for somebody else might not allow me to have enough time to do that. So if I can monetize my YouTube channel, I can promote the things that I feel are beneficial and, you know, help people and still be able to provide for my family. And when I say provide for my family, I'm trying to provide for everybody something valuable, worthwhile. Health food, safe martial arts, fitness, and eco-friendly clothing. I have a list of 13 things here. 13 goals for my brand and my life. A farm, an organic farm, an animal sanctuary, a complete cleansing program, natural cleaning materials and chemicals for the gym and the home. I want a turnkey brand for, you know, for people to be able to trust. You know that if you're shopping Master Lukey brand, it's going to be good for you and good for your family and good for the planet. That's the mission. Okay? So Dino cheese. Let me tell you something. Now, Rick, you've been here for a long time watching me. So I'm sure I don't have to tell you. But for anybody who's new to my channel, I have been basically living on pumpkin seeds since 2012/2013 when I went to complete my medicine training, or to continue my medicine training with Dr. Jubb, beginning my recovery from traumatic brain injury. He taught me about pumpkin seeds and how the living fats, not just pumpkin seeds, but other living fats like olive, coconut, and white chocolate, which is the pure chocolate fat, how they can rebuild brain tissue. So I came up with Dino scales. That's the activated pumpkin seed, meaning they're soaked in a salted brine and then dehydrated. So these taste like popcorn, but it's a complete plant protein. That was my first recipe. All right. I turned that into Dino cheese. I turned that into Dino tracks, which is a cracker. I turned it into Dino buns, which is a bread. And, you know, this has been besides honey, it's probably the thing that I've consumed the most in my life since that time period. So anyway, that's, you know, a long story short, Dino cheese. This recipe is like a creamy Dino cheese. Londos, you big dummy. Anybody who's vegan probably uses nutritional yeast. It has a cheesy flavor. Londos, you just have a cheesy personality. We're going to go 1 tablespoon. What do we got? There's 2 cups pumpkin seeds. And I'm going to do, because I want it to be cheesy, 2 tablespoons nutritional yeast. Okay? I want it to be salty because it's cheese. So we're going to do 2 teaspoons salt. Okay. What else we got here? I got some various spices. I'm going to put a little bit of baking soda to make it kind of fluffy. Just a 1/4 teaspoon. I'm also going to put habanero powder. What you know about habanero powder? We're going to put a 1/4 teaspoon of habanero. Make sure you don't touch your eyes if you put that in there. Got a little turmeric here for no reason. A little bit of turmeric. And also, I'm going to use this mustard powder for no reason. 1/4 teaspoon mustard powder. All right. Now, off camera, I'm pouring off the top water of the Irish sea moss, and we're going to use a 1/3 of a cup, maybe a 1/2 cup. Let's do a 1/2 cup. So what's a 1/3 and a 1/2 of a 1/3? A 1/3 is 2/6, and a 1/2 of a 1/3 is 1.5/6. So that's about a 1/2 of a cup. 1/2 of a cup sea moss. All right. And we also got apple cider vinegar. Apple cider vinegar we're going to put... Man, apple cider vinegar is getting a bad rap these days, huh? With the Bill Gates buying this brand. We're going to do 1. Just about 2 tablespoons of apple cider vinegar. I like the sharpness of it. Hopefully, Bill Gates doesn't get control of my mind now. Oh my gosh! Bill Gates is in my head. Alright, what else? I got an onion. I like onion. Sir Doyle called me today, and I told him to call tomorrow, and we'll record. He still doesn't know when he's getting out. If you're so concerned, why don't you take his number down and call him? You only like to pretend that you care. Londos. You like to pretend you care from afar. You're not in the trenches. You're not in the trenches, bro. You like to sit up there in your little castle and pretend. Makes you feel good at night. You know what? I'm not going to go crazy with the onion, but I don't want to waste. So that's it. I'm going to put 3/4 of an onion, not a whole onion. I probably should have done only a 1/2 onion. I felt bad wasting a whole onion, a whole 1/2 of an onion. Alright, now I'm rinsing off the tomatoes. And you know what the beauty part of about a Vitamix is? I don't even have to cut them. Boom, boom. That's it. They're in there. And let's see, what else? I put the salt in. I could put a little sweetener like honey, but I'm not going to. I am going to put a little olive oil. 1, 2, 3, 4, and that's it. Olive oil. And we're good to go. So that's the pumpkin seed cheese. It's going to be a little bit, let's see, thin because of all the liquid. That's okay. It's going to spread. I didn't put any water, so it won't be too thin, but as you can see, it's moving and I don't even really need to use the tamper. But if I turn this all the way up, it's going to shut off because the Vitamix is basically fried. The tranny. The tranny is shot. Yes, it does. Are you feeling guilty? What do you mean? Yes, what does? What does that need? More salt and more yeast. Not cheesy enough. It's good though. I'm going to put another tablespoon of yeast. When you're cooking, guys, just FYI, when you're cooking at home, if you ever think that you need to put more ingredients, start small. Start with less than you think you need because you can always add more. If I put too much salt and too much yeast, there's nothing I could do to fix that. So start little and you can add more. See? It died. You know what, Lundos? I'm gonna use you as an example. You're like the kid in class that I have to make an example out of. Okay? You think pills are the answer for Sir Doyle, and me helping him get off the meds, should call them drugs, they're not meds, is a problem. You think it's my fault that he's locked up. Because you take pills. And everybody should know that. That you take pills. And that's why you think it's okay. And that's called a conflict of interest. I don't have a conflict of interest. I'm not making any money on Sir Doyle. And all I want to do is help him to be naturally healthy with no drugs, no surgery, and that's what he wants for himself. Not what you want for him. Not what the medical industry wants for him. What Sir Doyle wants for himself. He's the one who came to me to get off the drugs. And I'm going to do it again when he gets out of the slammer. And you can't stop me, Londos. You can't stop me. You can't stop Sir Doyle. They can't hold him in there. And he's getting out. They just don't know when. Take that. Yeah, it saved your life. Okay, buddy. You never tried the right way, that's why. You never did any cleansing. And that's why you're not in good shape. I'm sorry to make an example of you, Londos. But you're too far gone. You're not going to be saved. And I'm not going to let you take anybody else down with you. So take your pills and stick them where the sun don't shine. Oh man, I lost a viewer ranting on you. You see? You're bad. You're bad news, Londos. Get out of here and don't come back. Alright. Fucking Londos. Your whole mission in life is to just be a heel, isn't it? You're like a kid who needs attention. Yeah, it feels good in your castle, Londos. Feels good in your castle. You ain't doing battle. You're not in the trenches with the people. You're not the man in the arena. Take that, Londos. Take that. You're not the man in the arena, Londos. Oh, lost another one. Holy. Trigger warning. Trigger warning. Alright. So, basically, I was going to get sauce from my mom, but then she told me she was... She told me that the sauce she had was store-bought, but it didn't have any preservatives. I said, yeah, but it has the wrong type of salt. She said, well, sometimes I make my sauce without Celtic salt. And then I showed her the video of Chris Farley on Saturday Night Live when they gave him the decaf coffee and he went crazy. I said, you lied to me. All right, now. I need some better lighting, but this is all we got. All right, so we're going to do a teaspoon. Two teaspoons. 3 teaspoons. Approximately 3 teaspoons. All right, now I got to get some water. There we go. Trigger warning. All right. And this is how we're going to turn this into a ravioli. Now, I might have a kind of a brush that I used to use for sushi, but I don't see it. And I might have thrown it out. So, let me just check one more place. Alright. This is literally a painting brush, but it's never been used, so we'll use it tonight. No, it's not gonna be good enough. I gotta use my fingers. Alright, so we're gonna go here, around, right? And then we're gonna go here. I'm gonna do it again. And what I think, because, you know, this is not the first time I'm making Dino cheese, but it's the first time I'm making norioli, to be honest. What I think is, number one, we'll have to basically let that sit. And let it dry. Okay, and I'll do a couple more. The other thing is I'm gonna use less cheese because that was kind of almost too much. We'll do one. Instead of 3, we'll do 2 this time. I put the tomatoes in. What I was saying before is I put the tomatoes in the cheese because I didn't feel like making a sauce. And like I said, my mom kind of didn't have sauce. But maybe you want to make sauce. You can make the Dino cheese to be harder with less ingredients, less liquid, right? Instead of tomato, you just do everything else. You gotta let it dry out, I think, to really seal. You know, that's 2. I'll do one more on camera. Then I'm gonna go on to Fortnite, stream my live reaction of the new season, and I'm basically firing on all cylinders with the streaming. Anything that I think people might be interested in, I'm gonna try to stream it. My workouts, my gaming. I do want to do IRL streaming, which is like day-to-day life, meeting people and stuff like that. Especially with the promoting, meeting potential sponsors, potential fighters, coaches, and whatever else. So I'm thinking of how I can make that happen. I was gonna do a GoPro, but I just got an offer from Optimum for a brand new iPhone 15, and all I got to do is buy service from them, which is I think $60 a month. So I might do that. And then I bet your mom's sauce is great. What Italian eats sauce in a jar? Good question. My mom's sauce is great, and I think she only buys the sauce when she has to, because otherwise it takes a few hours. It's like an all-day thing, you know, to cook the tomatoes and everything. So maybe in a pinch she has like jars lying around. I don't know. I can't vouch for that. Anyway, that's the recipe. I'll eat one just so you can see. I mean, what kind of Italian eats sauce in a jar? What kind of Italian eats at a restaurant? It's the same thing. If you eat at an Italian restaurant, you're basically eating somebody else's cooking. If you're eating sauce out of a jar, you're eating somebody else's cooking. Somebody had to make that. I get what you're saying, though. You don't want to get like the Chef Boyardee or the whatever the commercial brands are, because they're cutting down on quality ingredients, you know, to save a few pennies. But let's see, where's the first one? Here it is. The first norioli. Nothing is perfect. But does it have to be? As long as it's good enough, keep on keeping on. If you have any questions about Lifefood certified recipes, healthy recipes, cleansing, fitness, whatever, send me a message, leave a comment, go to masterluki.com, scroll to the bottom for the contact page, hit me up, and I'll be honored to help you. Stay tuned if you want to watch me play a kid's game at 43, almost 44 years old. See you for the news, Rick. Over and out.